Now to President Trump, facing new fallout this morning after the bombshell guilty plea from his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, directly implicating Trump in campaign finance felonies. Did the president commit a crime? Could he be impeached by Congress? Trump took that on in a brand new interview on Fox.
Well, you know, I guess it says something like high crimes and all. I don't know how you can impeach somebody who's done a great job. I'll tell you what, if I ever got impeached, I think the market would crash.
Let's bring in our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega. Cecilia, the president's comments are going to charge up this impeachment debate as we head into the midterms.
Oh, George, they certainly will. He also went on to say that I will tell you what, if I ever got impeached, I think the market would crash and I think everybody would be poor. So some head-scratching comments there. Clearly, this topic is front and center on his mind. He was up in the middle of the night tweeting. He wrote, "No collusion, rigged witch hunt" at 1:10 this morning.
This morning, President Trump is trying to distance himself from his longtime personal attorney, the man who once said he'd take a bullet for him.
He's been a lawyer for me, didn't do big deals, did small deals, not somebody that was with me that much. You know, they make it sound like I didn't live without him. I understood Michael Cohen very well.
In an interview with Fox News, it comes after Michael Cohen directly implicated President Trump, saying the then candidate himself ordered to pay hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels to keep her claim of an affair quiet to help his campaign. Now the White House testing a new line of defense.
The president has done nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
So we asked,
did President Trump commit a crime?
As the president said, we've stated many times, he did nothing wrong. There are no charges against him. And we've commented on this extensively.
Then why not report these payments?
Just because Michael Cohen made a plea deal doesn't mean that that implicates the president on anything.
The explanations have been head-spinning. On Air Force One, President Trump initially denied knowing anything about the payment to Daniels.
President, did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Then why did Michael? Do you know where he got the money to make that payment?
No, I don't know.
He then later admitted he had reimbursed Cohen. And now this claim on Fox News.
Did you know about the payments?
Later on, I knew. Later on. But you have to understand, Ainsley, what he did, and they weren't taken out of campaign finance. That's a big thing. That's a much bigger thing.
But lawyers say that still doesn't make it legal if the money was never disclosed. On Twitter, the president blasting his former lawyer with another false claim, saying Michael Cohen pled guilty to 2 counts of campaign finance violations that are not a crime. They are indeed a crime, spelled out by federal prosecutors.
Can you stand here today and say the president has never lied to the American people? Because so many people now look back at that tape of him on Air Force One saying he knew nothing about these payments, when in fact we now know he knew everything about these payments. So has he lied?
Look, again, I think that's a ridiculous accusation. The president in this matter has done nothing wrong, and there are no charges against him.
But as for his former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, convicted of defrauding the federal government, the president has nothing but love, tweeting, unlike Michael Cohen, he refused to make up stories in order to get a deal. Such respect for a brave man.
Now, the president seems to be walking a pretty fine tightrope when it comes to Paul Manafort. In this new Fox interview, he also just said that he didn't know him that well when, of course, Paul Manafort rose to the highest ranks of the president's campaign running the Republican National Convention. He was also asked directly about the possibility of a pardon, since he clearly seems to be gearing up for one, giving all of his kind words for Paul Manafort in the wake of his conviction. The president's answer, I have great respect for what he has done in terms of what he has gone through. So, George, it seems that he is clearly not ruling one out yet.
Yeah, he didn't say yes, didn't say no on that right there. But meantime, Cecilia, on these denials of any knowledge, as you pointed out in the briefing yesterday with Sarah Sanders, it's not only Michael Cohen's words. The prosecutors developed an awful lot of contemporaneous evidence.
Right. He pleaded to these charges. This is a deal that he reached. And the president in this new Fox interview says that it's called flipping and it almost ought to be illegal. So the president is clearly putting blame squarely on Michael Cohen, clearly trying to distance himself. He also said that what Michael Cohen pleaded to was totally unrelated to the campaign. George, these were 2 counts of campaign violations.
Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much. Let's bring this to our chief political analyst, Matthew Dowd, for more on this. And let's begin with those comments about impeachment the president just made. You already see legal analysts saying that a campaign finance violation, if it were proven, could actually be a high crime and misdemeanor because it had to do with the election that brought the president into office.
Well, I think the question becomes are we in a bridge too far sequel number 9, or are we in a place where it fundamentally changes the dynamics, among which we have to keep in mind Republican elected officials? George, up till now, they have been unwilling to hold the president accountable for many different things. Do we get to a point where the information and the activity is so bad and so outrageous they finally do something? And we don't know the answer to that. The evidence so far is the Republicans are unwilling to hold the president accountable in Congress.
One of the questions would be, you already have some Republicans saying, even Lindsey Graham saying, that bridge too far would be a pardon of Paul Manafort, the president not ruling it out.
Well, we've had Lindsey Graham, obviously, as you know, through the course of the campaign, say a lot of things about Donald Trump and what he was and all of that, very negative. He changed his mind in the course of serving with the president in the last 18 months. So I don't know what fundamentally will change many Republicans' minds. George, ultimately, maybe it's the November election that triggers a response of Congress, whether it's Democrats or Republicans. The November election may be the key point ahead.
Okay, Matt Dowd, thanks very much.
And all eyes are on those November midterms. Thanks, George.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.